guys, welcome back to Hello Friends. I am your host, Brandy, and
I'm Kayla, and today we are going to be talking about something that we all go through. We don't always want to talk about out loud, but a heartbreak that not everyone seems to like to deal with or manage.
And it's not a romantic heartbreak. We're going to talk about how friendships break up. So sit back, get comfy, and let's talk about it.
So when you are thinking through and you're saying like, okay, friendship heartbreak, what are like your top things that come to mind in that?
So I know with me, it is the fact that if we had like inside jokes and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you can't call that person and talk to them about certain things. Or, you know, if you had like a standing date. I know I had one friend that we used to have a standing date every week. And when those stopped, that was kind of heart-wrenching because I wasn't able to see that person and engage with them. And the fact that like amazing things can happen in your life and you can't share that with them. So it's kind of like a romantic breakup. It's just not like the intimacy part of it.
Yeah.
And it hurts. It hurts bad. Like you cry, you're moody and stuff, and you get depressed because that was your person. And now they're not your person anymore.
Yeah. I always, and I literally mean this, no offense to my husband or anyone who loves my husband so much. To me, friendship breakups are worse.
Really?
They're worse to me. I've always felt that way. Now, and it might be different with Tong because he is
your friend
my
too?
best
Yeah.
friend. Like he was my best friend before we got together, and he's my best friend after 9 years of being together, you know, like, but to me, losing a friend was always way worse to me than like an actual romantic breakup. I guess because romantically it was like, there was always something that happened that I just was like...
Oh, because that wasn't your person.
Yeah. And then when you're sitting there thinking of like a friendship though, like even if y'all have grown apart or you're in different places, or even if they've done something to hurt you, like they are your person.
Yeah.
So it does hurt so much worse. There are people that I haven't talked to in a long time that I still at this point like think of all the time, and like I still like hurt over the fact that I'm not friends with them at this point. I don't
think you ever kind of get over when a friendship breaks up. Like you can in a romantic relationship, because there's guys I dated. Girl, I don't even remember their last name. I don't, but like there's friends that I have broken up with that to this day it still hurts when I think about them.
Yeah.
And there's people that I like wanted to invite, just like when we had our event, there were friends that I really wanted to invite and I couldn't because they had either said something or done something to where I cut ties with them.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I am one of those people who, once you cross the line with me, that's just crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
ain't no coming back after that. I'm sorry for your bad luck. And so it hurts me a lot more because mine is definitive.
Yeah, that's that Leo in you.
I know it is. It's like you're dead to me now.
I have a very hard time with that. You and I have talked about this a lot. even when you are dead to me, I still will always have that thought of, for now. It's almost like you're dead to me, but I do try to also understand that my perception is my reality, and I might not know everything. Like, sometimes I try to wait.
That's true.
And I try, like, in my head, it's always like, you're dead to me. Mm-hmm. But if they were to come back after I've had enough time to sit in something, and they were able to really, but here's the thing on that. They've got to be able to come with accountability and ownership of whatever it was that I thought was fucked off. Because if you don't, you're still dead to me.
Yeah.
And if you come to me when you're dead to me and you're doubling down on the shit that I said you're dead to me about.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's like, all right, well, that time frame of for now just went for like maybe like the next year to like, please don't even attempt for the next 5 at least. I cannot.
And then, okay, so there was a point in time where my very best friend in the world said something that was true. She said something that was very true to me because I was attempting to stay in a very bad relationship.
Those are always.
Yeah. And she said something that was incredibly true to me. And instead of me hearing her from a place of love, I heard her from a place of spite. And I told her very angrily, if that is how you feel, you don't ever need to talk to me again. And she took it with grace and said, if that's how you feel. And I'm like, yep, sure is. And I didn't realize it until at least maybe 3 or 4 years had passed, just how much my actions hurt her.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until we because we didn't just stop altogether. It was, she would text me on my birthday or she would text me on Christmas. It wasn't like, I hate your guts, don't ever talk to me again. It wasn't one of those. It was, I'm going to do what I want to do. You can either stand by me as my friend or you can stop talking to me. And so what she said, okay, if this is what you really want to do, I can't keep supporting this.
Yeah.
And so she backed away. And it wasn't until I got older and I realized just how much I had hurt her. She also said, I didn't realize I was hurting you the way I said it.
Yeah.
She's like, I didn't get that you really cared about this person and you were trying. And she said, but I kept seeing you try, and they were just hurting you, and I couldn't just stand by and keep watching you do this.
That's hard as a friend too. So I have 2 friendships that come to mind with what you're saying. One of them, it was never an official breakup. We've never had that kind of conversation. Mm-hmm. And I love them so very much. But I've watched the same cycle go on for so long with them that I just, as their friend, couldn't continue to sit there and watch and witness and do. And I mean, it's so much so that, I don't get on Facebook a whole lot, but Tong will get on Facebook. And when he sees it, he'll come in there and be like, oh, let me tell you, the cycle started again, or whatever point the cycle's in. And love her so much, but I had to do that strictly just because I couldn't continue to watch the cycle. Mm-hmm. But then earlier in all of that, the friendship that had come to my mind, I had a friend and we were very close. We were friends during a lot of the really hard and bad things I had gone through in my life. So very, very close friend to me. And a few years back, I had already had Ryder. I had him way earlier than all my kids had kids. So I was a little past the point, but all my friends were starting to have kids. And this specific friend, the way that things were being said and done just really felt to me almost like a personal attack on like me as a mother, which I took to heart in a way that was like, I can't be around you because if you are really going to sit here and say the things that you're saying and imply the fact that like you're just so much of a better mom because of your choices in motherhood versus mine, like I can't do this with you. Like I always, like in my head, it was always just like, I'm supposed to be your friend.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm supposed to be one of your best friends. So we had cut ties and never really had a conversation about it until probably about a year ago. One of my best friend, who is also like one of her best friends, stayed friends with both of us throughout all these years and had eventually, you know, basically just said to me, like, I just think you should have a conversation. Like, it doesn't mean that you have to mend, but like, you just need to hear her side, and like, she needs to hear your side. So like, y'all just need to have a conversation. And we did, and we talked, and, you know, I told her how I had felt, and then she was explaining to me that like she was going through really bad postpartum, and then she also like none of it was her intention on like how I took it, but like it was just where I was at the time and how I took things and where she was at the time and what she was going through, and we just didn't realize where the other person was at
on their journey
and what they were having to deal with at that time period. And I mean, I told her then, you know, she was like, I'm not really ready to mend because like now at this point I'm realizing that like you thought I would treat you like that, and like now I need to process that.
Yeah.
And like I told her, you know, like, even if we're never friends again, like, even if we're never close, like, I'm just glad that we at least could, like, have the conversation, see each other's point of views, and, like, at least it's on good terms. Just know, like, if you ever want to reach out, like, I'm not going to be ugly or mean or whatever. Like, no, it's a safe place. Like, we're on good terms, at least. And then we ended up seeing each other this last weekend. And I'm so glad that we had that conversation because it made it to where when we did, we were able to just kind of not fall back in sync, but just able to meet each other where we were and like accept what it was, even though we're not the best of friends and we haven't talked over it from that conversation a year ago to now. Like, we're not friends, but she's friends with my best friend, and you know, like, I love her. I hope that, you know, maybe one day down the road it would hit that point, but like, you just don't always know. You don't realize. Like, you were sitting here saying that she was, you know, you just didn't know what she was saying. So,
I mean, she understood what she was saying, but she didn't realize I was going to take it.
You were taking it that way.
And we did have, because there was 3 of us, we had another friend with us that person betrayed both of us.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it was a very deep betrayal. This was life-altering betrayals. And so my best friend is able to forgive her and still wish her happy birthday, and she allows her access into her life via social media.
Okay.
This past year and a half, I realized that this person was paying entirely too much attention to what was going on in my life. And I'm one of those, like, I kind of feel like this. If you're my friend, you need to support me. And don't pretend that you're supporting me. Come full circle, because I'm going to do the same thing for you. Show up. Be present. Don't do it from afar. And you know, since my book releases and since like all the things that have been happening, and it has, the past 3 years have just been a whirlwind of stuff happening with me. she hasn't shown up. She hasn't congratulated me. She hasn't anything. And I got a request on social media from her to help somebody with their book endeavor. Kayla, I got so hot so quick.
Where was the help in my book endeavor?
I'm like, so I called my best friend and I was like, I said, let me know if I'm wrong. Because I have a tendency of flying off the handle. So I look to you guys to let me know
if I'm overreacting.
Yeah. And I'm like, so I told her, I was like, blah, 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 blah. And she was like, okay, let's look at it this way. She probably just thought because you had been so successful, you can help this person out. And I said, okay, got it. So here's my thinking. You ain't fucking talk to me.
Yeah.
Why are you asking me to help somebody else? And so my best friend was like, you're valid. And she goes, okay. I was like, okay, I was just making sure it wasn't me. It wasn't me. And she's like, but you are still mad at her for X, Y, and Z. And granted, I can't hold a grudge, and I can hold a grudge like nobody's business. I can. Personal flaw. But I had tried to move past that grudge and not cut all ties with this person. And so when that happened, and I was like, and why is she stalking me on social media? You know, if you're going to say you're my friend, you show up.
Yeah.
Don't ask me for help. And so I have gotten to the point to where I have limited her view on what she can see into my life. And I'll do that with people. Like, I'll cut you off quick. I will cut you so quick. Like you get zero access to me. And granted, there's parts of me that hurt because we were very close. I threw her a baby shower. I was present when her daughter was born. I was there through like a lot of things in her life. But I also look at stuff like this. If you're my friend, I need you to show up for me too. Our friendship shouldn't be one-sided.
Yeah, it's got to be a two-way street.
Yeah. And so we didn't have like an official breakup. It was one of those things. She did something like unforgivable to me. It was unforgivable. And she also did something unforgivable to my best friend. She's more forgiving than I am.
Yeah.
And I think like part of me is like, I want her to message me one more time about some BS. I'm coming unhinged. And so that, you know, they hurt quite a bit. Cause I've known this person, how old's my son? 23. So 22 years. I've known them for 22 years, but I haven't been close to them for about 15.
Yeah. It's so hard when you have to make the cut in that and say like, all right, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to be friends with you anymore. You know, you're quick to cut. So it's not as hard on your end.
I'm quick to kick rocks.
Yeah. For me, it's a really hard thing to do. So I feel like if I'm at a place where I'm saying like, I need to remove myself from your life right now, like that's a big thing for me to get to that place. It's incredibly hurtful. I know it's hurtful on their end. I don't want to sit here and say that it's not, but it is such a grief process even on your end, even when you're the one who says like, I have to make the cut, because it's like, then you do have something happen in your life and you're like, oh, I'm taking this new job, or, oh my God, I finally found like my person. I've like been dating this guy. They're so perfect, whatever. And you're like, oh, I want to call them.
And you can't.
And I can't. Or you see something even like, and I don't know if you are like this, but I do this. I will I'll see something online or like know something's going on in their world and like I feel bad because I want to reach out and be like, hey, like, I still care about what you're I care about what you're dealing with. Like, I hate that for you. And like, it hurts me that like, I know that I can't, because I know that if I reach out, like I'll forgive too fast, and not necessarily forgive. Okay. Here's the thing. I'm a pretty forgiving person because I just understand, like,
oh, I understand. I'm not going to forgive you, though.
I understand, like, there's just so many factors at play, whatever the case. Like, for the most part, I will forgive I'll forgive a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I don't forget it. I can't forget it. So it's like, that's where it's like, I have to make that cut anyways.
Yeah.
So I'm emotionally still tied to this person. I still emotionally like care and want to be there and want to have them in my life, while knowing that like I shouldn't and I can't, and I like have to make that cut. And that is so, like, I think that's what makes that different for me, in that sense of like,
I mean, the only reason why we're talking about this is because I literally just had a friendship breakup last month. And when I talk to you, and it takes a while for me to get to that point. But I listed off like a laundry list of things this person had done to me. And you're like, damn, Brandy. And I'm like, yeah, this has been building.
yeah.
And so it is not something that I do just knee jerk. But once I get to that point, it is over for you. It's over for you. And I don't care how long we've been friends. I don't. I will give you opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. You know what the final straw is for me to break up with somebody, though? Is when you start comparing your life to mine. I feel like we are all incredibly unique individuals. I own who Brandy is. I do. I own it. Do not compare who I am to who you are. I'm going to love you for you.
Yeah.
I need you to do the same for me.
I don't want a competition.
Do not compete with me. My path in life is not the same as yours. We all do this brick by brick. When people start doing that to me, that is definitive. And I had another friend that did that. She wanted to live in the same neighborhood as me. She wanted to drive the same brand of car as me. She even asked me, can you help me decorate my home because I love the way your home is decorated? Bitch, what? This is my space. Like, I curated this space based on my personality. You are not the same as me. So why are you comparing we are on two totally different levels in life. She even asked me at one point, what kind of degree do you have? Because I'm going back to school. What's it matter? We went to school at two totally different times. Like, there's new degrees out there versus when I got mine. So that for me is a line. Once you cross that is when I just get mad. I'm like, okay, nope, this is not the friendship that I need. We're breaking up.
Yeah. I think that I don't mind so much if you're asking for like my thoughts or opinions or things like that so much. It's if you just try to copy it without my help, you know, like, I understand it kind of looking similar if I helped you do it.
Yeah.
But if I just feel like every time I turn around, you're copying me versus like Like you're specifically just everything is like you're trying to be aligned exactly with my life and who I am. I'm like, I have a real issue with people that are not authentic.
Me too.
I think that when I say I'm very forgiving up into the sense of like, you can make 1,000 mistakes and I'll forgive 1,010 mistakes, you know? Like I can forgive a mistake all day, every day. I don't fuck with people that are authentic to who they are, or at least trying to be authentic to who they are. Like I get like some people, especially like at my stage in life, are still trying to figure it all out, and that's okay. But I just need you to like own who you are.
Thank you.
Own who you are. Just be authentic to who you are, and like. I feel like when I meet people, that's usually the thing for me is like if I meet you and I just get that vibe from the jump, like you're not putting on what you think I'm wanting to see. You're not saying what you think I would want to hear. Because honestly, you don't know me. You're wrong. I don't want to see what you think I want to see. I don't want to hear what you think I want to hear. What you think I would want to talk to you about is probably not what the freak I want to talk to you about. So like, I don't want someone to put on a show for me because then I feel like I can't trust you because I don't know you because you're hiding. Like I need you to just
be who you are.
Open the door. This is who I am. Like, and not everyone's going to be for everyone, but like I will always be cool and civil and accepting of someone who comes in the room, authentic to who they are. Even if we don't align on everything, even if we don't have a whole lot in common.
No.
I don't care. I met you and I knew immediately, like, you just love being Brandy. And I love that about people. Like, I'll whatever mistakes you make, that's okay, boo.
I mean,
as long as you're being Brandy, just keep being yourself.
Again, too, I own who I am, and I know that much about myself. So it's not me trying to win anybody over, or try to impress. I don't really care about impressing anyone. I'm just who I am, and I know one of our first meetings, we were sitting there onboarding employees, and I was sitting there talking mad shit. And you're just, I was because I can, and I really don't care. And I'm sitting there talking mad shit to people, and you're just sitting there laughing at me. And I'm like, I said, Kayla, you think I'm funny? You're like, you're hilarious.
You're hilarious. I understand that you're my client and I'm supposed to be professionally sitting here onboarding people, but no, I'm laughing my ass off. You're hilarious.
Yeah. So, I think that is when I meet people, I am so open to any and everyone. I'm so non-judgmental. I really don't care. And so when you show me that side of you, like, oh, Brandy's really cool, let me try to do everything that she does. No, go figure out who you are. Go figure out what you want to do and who you are as a person, because I am not for everybody out here. I know that. There's a lot of people that just think I'm over the top, I'm too much. They think I'm arrogant, and I'm not really arrogant. I know people think that about me. I'm not. So I get it. I'm not for everybody. So and my mom always says, oh, well, take it as a compliment. I don't. I want you to be who you are so I can love you for you. And if I can't do that, then there's not a lot we have in common, because my whole thing is be the best human being you can be. Yeah. Don't try to be another human being. And I'm fine with breaking up with people like that. Like, it hurts because I've invested time with you. I think that's what hurts the most. If
I feel like those are the ones that don't hurt me.
If I invest time, because that's a most precious thing I own is my time. I know that now. And so if I give that to you, that means I care about you, and I can't get that back.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to be mad about it because I've invested my time into you. Not so much money or anything that we've done.
Mm-hmm.
I've invested my time in you. I can't get my time back.
Yeah. I don't think I invest enough time in people that I find inauthentic to... those are the ones that I just...
You pick up on them quick?
Tong's friends used to make a joke. Their joke was always, you had to put in a 2-year friendship application with me.
Oh, damn.
And that's not true.
No, because mine was fast-tracked.
No, that's not true. The thing is this. It's going to take as long as it takes me to understand if you're authentic to yourself. If you come in and I can tell from the jump, there's no facade to me. Like, I don't want smoke and mirrors. I don't want bullshit. I have a real big issue with dishonesty and lying.
Yeah, I do
so
too.
For me, like, if you're being inauthentic or like trying to impress me or whatever, which like for one, there's no reason to try to impress me. Like, I am the most low key person ever. Like, you don't need to do that. But just if I feel like you're not, if I can't tell, then that's how long it's going to take me to decide. And I'm not going to invest or try to do anything until I can make that decision. So like there are some people that I met or I meet and it's just immediate. I meet you and I'm like, wow, cool. Love them. I can just tell that they are just being who they want to be. They're staying as true to themselves as possible. Love to see it. I'm a rally behind you, even if we have nothing in common. Doesn't matter. What we have in common is that you want to just embrace yourself, and I freaking love to see it, so I'm here for it. If I can't make that judgment call on you, that's not my problem. And I'm not investing, and I ain't doing, and your application can sit in that dang filing cabinet until you decide to show me who you are.
Yeah.
And I'm not making the decision, and I'm not chasing you, and I'm not trying to build something until you're able to show me who you are. So I just won't invest. Those, to me, like that part of it, I don't feel like I grieve or hurt over people that show me like
I grieve over my time.
inauthentic.
It's not so much the person. I'm more annoyed I put time into you because I wanted you. And my whole thing is, how can I build you up? But if you're just taking from me constantly,
yeah,
and I've invested time in you and you're still constantly taking from me, you know, oh, you're dead. Now you're dead to me.
Yeah, now I'm over it.
Yeah. And I've been told, you know, my best friend, she said to me, she was like, it's really bad if you lose Brandy as a friend.
Yeah.
And I said, why would you say that? And she said, do you know how loving and how genuine you are? She said, and you're there. She's like, you clap for people. She's like, you're there. And so if somebody does something to lose that, she's like, it hurts. She said, when we had our hiatus,
it's a big hole. Yeah.
She said, it hurts so much. And I said, well, I didn't realize that. She goes, oh God, it hurt. She's like, cause we were inseparables. And we talked every day. We had dinner. We had holidays together. When I was raising my kids, she was like the dad. It was me, her, and my kids. And so when I took that, I literally took her family from her.
Oh.
Yeah. And I didn't realize that. And so now, in knowing what kind of person I am, I'm a little bit more selective with who I invest in because I know that now.
You have to be. Yeah.
Because I know that now. And she's the first to tell you, like, if you piss her off, she will never speak to you again. Literally, she will never speak to you again. You won't know where she is. She will see you in the street and you will just be another face. And I was like, damn, am I that cold? And she's like, absolutely you are.
I'm going to change that wording. I don't think that you're that cold. I think that you put on a cold armor. I think that I think that there is more thought and feelings that you have throughout those situations than you portray or let anyone else see. I don't really think that you're as cold as just like, I made this, I cut it, I don't care, I don't even recognize you, hurts. Whatever. No, you recognize them, you see them, you're not going to acknowledge it, you're going to seem cold, sure. Mm-hmm. But I know in your head, you're like, damn, just saw them, that was so-and-so or whatever. Like, you still have those thoughts, you still have those feelings. And I think that's something that, like, sucks when you break up with your friends, because you have a lot in common, or you go to the similar places or similar types of things. And if you see them there, you're like, damn.
I wish I could talk to you.
Yeah. Even in like, even when you are just sitting there, like, I've cut this, I've like, whatever, it is still that moment of just like, had you not done this, or had this situation not happened, or like whatever, if we were the friends that I thought we were going to be, then we would be here together and we'd still be talking. Yeah. So I think that that's the thing with friendships, that it's just really hard. And then you have like, your friends are the ones you turn to in like the best and the worst. So like we had mentioned like, oh, something good happens and like you want to call your best friend, and like that's true, but also like, who's checking on you when you're bad? Like, there's times that I'm so down and out, and you'll text me, and it will give me that little like, like moment, because it's like, oh, like I didn't even realize that I haven't like that I'm not talking to people right now. Like I'm not even aware. I'm just so focused on whatever it is that I'm trying to deal with. And then you'll message me and be like, hey, are you okay? Like, just want to check on you, or like, you've been quiet or whatever. Who's doing that at that point? You know, like if me and you had like a friendship breakup and then I am down and out, like those are the moments that I'm going to be like, fuck, I miss Brandy because she would have checked in on me, or she would have, you know? So it's really hard when you lose that friendship, because they're the person that you turn to in the best, but they're the person you turn to in the worst. Mm-hmm. They're also the person who's going to call you on your shit. They're the person who's going to know like what's happening and how your thought process is. You know, like there's just something that you get so in sync and so in tune with your friends, especially as females. Oh, yeah. Like you just get so like, I will text. I am sitting here saying all this. I'm bad about like not texting first, or like not checking in or whatever. I think most of my friends will attest to that for the most part. But then if I text you and I'm like, hey, da da da, like I can tell like when you like message back, it's that, like, oh, okay, yeah, da 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 da. So it's just, friendships are so hard, because it's like if you lose that person that you're going to and you're talking to day in, day out, you're telling everything to, like they know some of your deepest and darkest secrets. Because we tell our friends stuff we don't tell our spouses. Yeah, I tell my friends everything. Yeah. You know, your friends, I have a girlfriend, I worked in nursing with her, and it's real funny because we talk about some of the grossest stuff as women. Yeah. Because we go through some really gross stuff. I was going to say, that job will do it to you. We go through. You don't have choice. And so now there's like zero filter. And so we both got on weight loss medication together. And so some of the side effects are kind of disgusting. And so we're like texting back and forth about just gross stuff. And I remember one day I was like,
I said, Angie, I'm really happy our friendship is at this level to where we can just be so open and honest about some of the nastiest.
Yeah.
And then she goes, girl, we worked in healthcare. All bets are off.
Yeah.
Like, there's no secrets. Like, we've seen it all. We've heard it all. Like, this is where we're at in our lives. Just go with it.
Yep. Yeah, like they're literally the ones that, and listen, I tell Tong pretty much everything too, but he is a best friend in my opinion. But like a friendship breakup, like you literally are just like, well, shit.
Yep.
They know everything about me. Like, I thought we were like gonna ride for like life.
Yep.
And then now, like, cause I don't think we really ever I don't think we ever have the intention when we're becoming friends and getting close to someone that it's going to eventually stop.
Yeah. I have another girlfriend. I think, let's see, we've been friends for about 14 years. And we go to like this Asian spa all the time. And in the women's locker room, you got to get nude. And so there was we've been there several times together, and we went there not too long ago together. And she's like, oh, Brandy, I'm sorry, you haven't seen me naked before. And I was like, Sarah, we've been here like 30 times together. I've seen you naked. You've seen me naked. Like, girl, all bets is off. Like, I don't care. So, there's so many intricate parts of certain friendships to where if we were to break up, it would hurt tremendously.
Yeah.
It would kill me, because there's things that I've talked to her about that nobody else knows.
Yep.
That my spouse doesn't even know. She knows.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain things that I've gone through that I don't tell other people, except maybe one or two people know certain things. And so if we were to break up, that would literally hurt like hell.
Yeah.
It would. And you don't walk into a friendship thinking this is not going to last forever. And nobody thinks that.
No, you expect it to last forever, and you're putting in the time and the effort to grow this relationship truly into someone that you're going to share your life with. Yep. I mean, to me, it's similar as when we're dating to choose our husbands or wives or significant others. You go through life with your people. Like my son calls my best friends Aunt so-and-so, like, because they're my best friends. They're the people that he's been around his whole life. They're the people he's grown up with. Well, if we break up, like, that now affects him, like it affects my whole family. Like, you're really building and sharing everyone and everything with these people, and then
you're not
all of a sudden you're not, and you're like, okay, what the heck? Like, I know there's some people in my life right now that I'm not speaking with currently, and Ryder was having a conversation with me about it in the car and was like, well, I'm just going to tell them they need to fix it. They need to get it together. They got to fix it, because, like, that's not acceptable.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, Ryder.
That's not how this works. Like,
that's not how this works. Like, I'm not at that, like, I can't, like, I'm not at that place either. So you do share so much with your friends. You open up so much of your world to them, and also you intricate so much into their world and their like families. And it's a lot when you have to say, okay, like, we're not going to do that anymore. And, like, I understand sometimes, you just outgrow each other, or, like, sometimes it's not even, like, a bad situation that happens. It doesn't matter. It's still such a process to start untwining your lives and taking those parts out, and then having to try to refill it with something else. So you're not just sitting there like,
Yep.
Oh, on this day and this every Saturday morning, I usually would be meeting up to go to yoga or meeting up to do a coffee date or whatever. And
Yep.
you're like, no, I'm not. So you've got to find something else to fill that time up.
I got really depressed when me and my best friend had a hiatus. Like I got real because our lives were so intertwined. Like she was there for my kids. She was there with my mom and vice versa. Like our lives were so intertwined. It hurt me so bad. And my kids were younger when this happened. And they were like, you know, it's Saturday. Is Trisha coming over? Are we going out? And I'm like, no.
No.
Me and Trisha are not talking right now.
No.
And I used to get incredibly depressed because I did want to call her and talk to her, but because I had made a choice, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't. And, you know, just within the past 10 years, we have gotten back to where we were. But that was hard. That was a hard road back to, you know, the life we had. And it had changed.
Yeah. It never gets fully back. It never goes back to normal, even when you do come back together. And, you know, there's friendships that you break up with that will be able to come back, even if it is like a hard journey and it's a hard thing. And then there's friendships that, you know, I could never go back. I could never do that again. I had a friend I was friends with for a very long time, and we had plans. I really don't like flaky people and flaky things.
I don't either.
We had plans to buy these concert tickets to do this thing together. And I was like, no problem. Like, I'll front the money. Like, I'll put it, like, I'll get the tickets. I'll handle this. I'll do that. And then after just ghosted me for like straight silence.
Wow.
And I didn't hear from her. And I mean, I feel like at this point she's like commented or reached out on something at some point, but like I don't have like we'll never be friends again.
Well,
like we'll never go back to
broken
that
trust.
Because yeah, like the trust is just gone. And like, you know, and it wasn't about the money I put in, wasn't about the concert. It was totally fine. I gave that ticket to my best friend. We had the best fucking time at the show. It was totally fine. It was no problem.
But say something.
To me, it was the disrespect.
Yeah.
That you would not just communicate to me that like, hey, like, I'm so sorry, I'm not going to be able to go, or you don't have the money, or whatever the case. Because again, I've always been someone in my friendships that's very understanding and like cool with whatever. But like, I'll never be friends with you again just because, like, to me that was disrespectful, and I have no trust in you on anything you were to ever say or do at this point. And like, it sucks because I have been so close with her and like her family and whatever. And like, you know, when I go home, my dad and them will ask like, oh, have you heard from her? Like, how is she? And I'll just be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My mom does that too, because she'll ask about certain people I've brought around, and she's like, oh, how's your friend doing? I'm like, oh, we don't speak anymore. And my mom has even said, she's like, you're real quick to cut people off. I said, no, I'm not. I'm real quick to like call you on your bullshit.
I'm quick to protect my peace. And I think that's the thing that, you know, over the time you've gotten to watch my journey of being like, I can't cut people off. I want these people in my life. Like, I love them. I care about them, whatever. To watching me start moving down that journey of like, goodbye.
Yeah.
Not gonna do it. And I have gotten a lot quicker to pull those triggers of being like, nope, I'm done. I'm out. Like, you're not gonna hear from me anymore. But I think that you have to, because throughout my journey of therapy and all the things that I'm doing to try to work on my mental health and work on my trauma and work on my life and work on me, I have to protect my peace. I don't have the option. My peace is not worth your friendship.
Yeah.
So if you're coming into my world and you're disrupting things versus supporting things versus enhancing my life, if you are instead deteriorating it, I'm out. Like, I've got to cut it. I've got to pull the trigger on that.
My whole thing is, if you can't meet me where I stand, just period. If you can't meet me where I stand, I don't need you.
Yeah.
This is not a have to situation. It is a want to situation. And if you can't meet me where I stand, despite what it is I have going on, you don't need to be around me, and I don't need to be around you.
Yeah.
This is optional. There's a lot of things in my life that are optional, and I've learned that over the years. This is not a have to situation. This is optional. This is also temporary. So I'm real quick to say, not worth it, and kind of just keep going. I'm not, heartless and cold as people think. It does hurt, but I also know this too shall pass.
Mm-hmm.
It will pass. And I'm okay with that, because last time I checked, my life still goes on. I'm still the same person. I'm not at a point to where I'm willing to make a whole lot of new friends. I think I'm kind of full up on my with my friend list, but the people I have in my life understand who I am and how to treat me. And if you can't meet me where I stand, then there's no point of us continuing on. And I've learned that. Okay, you don't need to be on this road with me. You can go be over there by yourself.
Yeah. But I think that's it, right? There's 1,000 reasons why friendships can break up. There's 1,000 reasons why you decide it's not worth it.
Yep.
I have to do this. I have to make that decision, whatever. And I mean, sometimes it's them making the decision. Sometimes I did something messed up, whatever. But I think that it is just being on that journey with yourself and learning to accept it and grieve it and know when to call it, and, give yourself the grace when you have to, or give yourself the grace if you realize maybe you didn't make the right call. Whatever the case, throughout life, it's something that we all deal with. We all have to grieve these friendships that we've built and then we've lost or we've had to end. Just learning how to do that in the best way possible, and learning how to, be okay with it and be at a place where you are in your head, I'm enough. And my life is most important to me, and what I need and what I have going on is important. And if that is not aligning anymore in that, that's okay, and accepting it. But I think that we all deal with it, but we don't all talk about it. So we don't all necessarily learn that it is okay to make those calls. It's okay to move on from a friendship. It's okay to love someone to pieces and not talk to them anymore.
You can love them from afar.
You can love them from afar. And I think that's why it's so important to talk about this, is just make sure that, we don't talk about it. Everyone goes through it. We've got to know that it's okay.
Yeah. I think that's our show.
Yeah, I think that's time.
Yeah. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media. It's, as always, Hella, HELLA-friends. If for any reason you want to subscribe to our podcast, please reach out to us on our website, because you still have the opportunity to get a free gift before the end of the month. We will send all new subscribers something free in the mail.
Awesome.
All right.
And as always,
life be lifin'. Sometimes.